right, Metro Detroit golfers, it's Tuesday, and I'm Chad.
And I'm Ben.
We are here with the Tuesday tip of the week. So, as it's the winter time, and everybody in Metro Detroit, and everywhere for that matter, is using simulators to train their golf game, yeah?
You got it.
More and more and more popular. They're ending up in people's homes and garages and basements, and now that Carl's and Oasis, so this everywhere, yeah?
Data everywhere.
All right, cool. So this video, we'd like to help you to understand how to most effectively use simulators for your training. What do you think? What do you think is most important at the top of the list?
Figure out what you want to get better at. So a lot of times what we see players doing is, especially, they'll come in and they'll have every single data point that the launch monitor has available to them up on the screen, and they're trying to perfect all the data at one time.
So don't do that.
Please don't do that. So figure out what it is that you need to work on. So an example would be if I wanted to work on maybe my club path. That seems to be a popular topic. If I'm working on club path, just have the club path number up there. You don't need all the other variables. Make sure that you can do whatever it is you're trying to do just with the club path, and then once you've trained that, go ahead and select the next skill that you're trying to develop.
So get clear on what you want to get good at.
Yep.
And then try to use only that number if you can help it, yeah?
Yeah, take away as much feedback as you possibly can.
Yeah, so whether you're using TrackMan or Foresight or SkyTrack, what are some other ones that...
OptiShot, Tiger's got a new launch monitor, There's a million of them.
Let one go here, and let's see what numbers come up on this one. All right, so that's cool. What were you trying to do with your swing on that one?
Free swinging motion.
All right, cool. All right, so when all these numbers come up over here, it starts to get hard to understand, right? So some people, unless you're very clear on what you're looking for, it's easy to get lost. It's easy to get lost. So identifying one thing that you're trying to get good at. There we go. Okay. So in this case, you talked about the club path. You weren't really focused on that. You were doing one swinging motion, right?
Just free swinging motion, yep.
Cool. Is that going to go back to the other screen or no?
It can here in a second.
Okay. Okay. So
this is typically what all the data points look like. So if you're training at home on the launch monitor, this is what we see a lot of, right? So the player hits the shot, and then they're looking at every single variable, and they're just trying to nitpick every ball that they hit, and they're changing what they're doing after every swing to try to accommodate for the numbers. We're not going to do that at all. So if I'm focusing on club path right now, the only number that I would be looking at in this case is this. I would be paying no attention to the rest of the data. TrackMan has some nice features on it where you can actually just click on the boxes that you want to see. Unfortunately, we can't do that on the Foresight right now. All the data comes up, but I'm only focusing on one number.
Cool. And then where would you go next? So, get clear on what you're trying to get good at. And then how else could you use a simulator to get better at home?
We like to use Goldilocks training. So a lot of times if we want to get better at distance control, one of the things that we would do is we would hit it past the pin, short of the pin, somewhere in between. A wonderful way to gain control of your golf clubs and learn how to develop some feel.
No. So using it more as a feedback device and just more general and using errors versus trying to do details and specifics and getting wrapped up in all the numbers.
You got it.
Okay, cool. How else would you use it?
Proximity training. So one of the things that we have here at GLA is we know based on what your handicap is and where you're trying to get to, roughly what your proximity to the hole should be on, say, a 10-ball set. So another thing that you can do on these launch monitors, it will tell you exactly how far away from the hole you are. And what you can determine is maybe where you're efficient and maybe where you're not efficient. So, let's say I'm training 150 to 170 and I notice my proximity to the hole is 32 yards. I go look at the chart and it says that I need to be within, say, a 20-yard range. I know that I'm going to need to spend time in that area of my game.
Very good. So really just focus on how close you're getting it versus all the details. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So in this case, you hit that thing 180 yards, and it's basically 11 yards to the pin or 33 feet.
Yep.
From that range, what do you think?
It's going to sound weird, but I think that's exceptional.
Right.
Like, it's actually really good. I think a lot of times when people are hitting on these launch monitors, they expect everything to be 3 feet, but I can guarantee you from 170 yards, if you're averaging 33 feet, that's pretty damn good. That's almost PGA Tour average.
All right, so do not try to be perfect. That is what shuts this down quick.
You got it.
Just food for thought. So from 100 yards from the fairway, 17 feet on average, is the best person in the world. So that's as good as it gets from 100 yards. So anything at 33 feet or 27 feet is really a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I think even Sully and Bogey shared something on the Metro Detroit Golfer Forum just recently. It was Tiger Woods, 110 yards from the fairway. How many times throughout his career did he hit the green from that distance? And I believe the number was 80%. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So the best in the world, Tiger Woods, best of all time.
Yep.
So manage your expectations. Don't try to be perfect, and get clear on what you're trying to do, and use the feedback to give you information about that. Yes?
You got it.
Anything else before we call it a day?
Have fun when you're on these things.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to experiment. The more you experiment on these simulators, the more you're going to uncover what works for your game. So don't try to be perfect on these things. Other things that we would do on here is maybe try to hit certain ranges with your club path. So we just have the club path number up there. Try to go 0 to 3 into out. Try to go 0 to 3 out to in. Try to go 3 to 6 out to in. 3 to 6 into out. And just continue to work both ends of the spectrum so you can figure out what you have to commit to in order to control your golf ball.
All right. We hope this helps you. Have fun when you're on the simulators this training season. And please leave us any comments below if you have any questions or any way we can help you moving forward. Thank you for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.